Live, folks.
We're going live. We are now on air. The July 3rd, 2015 Small Business Accounting Advisors. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
How has your week been? Smile. We got Misha to smile.
Yeah.
Had nothing to do with work.
Should we ask? Does it have anything to do with liquid form?
Huh? No, a casino opened in Massachusetts.
Oh, okay.
A new casino opened in Massachusetts.
And you actually, you play?
I took the day off from work.
Oh.
Did you come out ahead or behind?
I came out ahead.
Yay!
Way
That'll
ahead.
put a smile on your face. Happy 4th of July, Miss
Thank
Misha.
you. Thank you.
You can have some fun and some fireworks.
I know fireworks are gonna happen tonight, and I sit at on my front step and watch them because we're in a small town and I don't have to go anywhere.
How nice.
And I can have my wine on my front step. Not a problem.
So you're a smiling girlfriend today.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Plus, there's some other stuff going on. I ended up having, potentially now I have 2 business partners for 2 different ventures. And I'm moving forward with my other thing that had caused me to have my marshmallow binge. and my s'mores, you know, my Oreo binge. But everything is back on track.
Good. Good.
So
we have a happy Misha today.
Yeah. Things are good. I took the day. I'm on summer hours now. So Fridays I don't take calls. The phone systems and shut down, and I've kind of been chilling today.
Oh, awesome. So, Linda, you're unmuted. You're back from your vacation.
I am.
You want to tell us a little about it?
Oh, it was wonderful. I met my sister in Salt Lake City. She came from the East Coast, and we went up to West Yellowstone. We spent 2 days in Yellowstone driving about 250 miles a day, and then the Tetons, and it was just wonderful. We saw all kinds of wild animals, and we just had a wonderful time, you know, talking about our childhoods and that, which were radically different because I'm 12 years older than she is, but a lot of it was the same and a lot of it was different. We just had a great time.
That's
and
awesome.
There was no cell phone service or Wi-Fi anywhere in Yellowstone Park. And when we got to the Tetons and we took the aerial tram up to the top, a 10,000-foot mountain, we had 4G, LTE, and Wi-Fi both.
Wow.
So you had to go to the top of the mountain to get connected, huh?
It was pretty interesting. So, and a little later on, I'll share a little bit about a program that may be a little bit similar to the Handyman Pro program, but maybe even a lot more heftier. And Brandon knows about this too. So
Brandon's with us. He's muted.
that's
No,
all right.
he's shaking his head. He must not be. Okay.
Oh, I'm paying attention. What do I know about?
The hold on, let me read it. Well, where is it? It's up above, I guess.
Isn't it vodka marshmallow smoothies? Oh, no, sorry. It was Larry. Sorry about that.
Poor Larry's getting blamed for something.
Oh, Larry's giving me recipes for my marshmallow fix.
Nice.
It's Intuit's Field Service Management, powered by Corrigo.
Now that
Yes.
is not new. That has been around for a while.
Yep, it's
Yeah.
been around for a while.
But
I-
only the diamond resellers have been able to sell it. Now they're opening that up for pro advisors. Let me share
Okay.
my screen. Hold on here.
And that only works with the enterprise solution, or have they changed it?
Well, I don't know. I work with Enterprise Solutions. So anyway,
Okay.
you can schedule and dispatch crews from your office desktop to field terminals. So, and it can be used on an iPad. So, but you do have to go through somebody like Brandon. It says until now, it was just sold by Intuit Direct Sales or Intuit resellers. In fact, Intuit didn't even offer it to non-resellers until just a few years ago, but a few new bonus.
I'm not so sure about that because I supported somebody and I know it had to have been at least 3 or 4 years ago. They were a service company that went out and serviced equipment on site, and they were using it. And were using it successfully, too, unless they changed it. The Corrigo name was not on it at the time. They had Intuit Enterprise Solutions, and they did not get it through a reseller. Intuit came to them and asked them if they wanted to buy it or were interested in it, and they did.
Got it. Well, it reminded me, it was in the latest Insightful Accountant newsletter, the one that we get.
Right.
And then Murph says, and then the other guy's on there, the fishing guy, the guy with the big fish, and it just reminded me of what Handyman Pro did. And so I kind of wanted to look at both of them rather than just one of them, that's all. So.
Brandon, can you tell us anything about him? Brandon left us.
Did he? That's okay. Let me unshare my screen for right now. We know.
No, I'm still here.
Okay. Anything you want to add about it, the field service by Corrigo?
Is it expensive? I'll bet it is.
Brandon, are you there? He's probably fading in and out.
Yeah, I think he's in one of those little... Yes?
It's cutting out quite a bit.
Got it.
Okay, we'll come back to that.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So I'm not sure what the question was.
Do you want to share anything about it? And I wondered how expensive it was.
It is on the upper end as far as, and don't quote me on this because I don't have the pricing in front of me, but you're looking at close to $60 per user per month.
Yeah, that's pricey.
Yeah.
It is. If you have all your technicians as users, yes, it is.
Now, at Scaling New Heights, there are a few other providers out there, a few other vendors that are doing basically the same thing, depending on what you want to integrate with, whether it's QuickBooks for Desktop or QuickBooks Online. One is called About Time.
Oh,
okay.
And they've got two products. They've got one that's all kind of a software as a service, is subscription-based. They've got another one that is a program that you download and install, and it's got almost the same feature set that Field Service Management's got in it.
And the one, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine. They've got another one that's based out of Australia that's called, I want to call it M8. I would have to go back and look at my my business cards, but they've got it looks like a very cool software package, but it's also all completely online, but it only integrates with QuickBooks Online.
Got it.
And you, Linda, were talking about the House Call Pro. Is that the name of?
Or Handyman Pro. I can't remember what it was. That's the same one Seth was talking, because the man's name is Roland Leitenberg. And that was the name Seth used this morning too.
Okay. Okay.
And I have not heard back from him. I'll have to chase him down next week. So we'll see.
We'll see what happens.
That one's a very reasonably priced one. It's a lot more like, it's a lot less expensive.
I'm looking forward to the demo. We should look at all of these and you know, compare them. So.
Does anybody have a comparison chart for QBO versus FreshBooks versus Xero? All in one sheet?
Who did that? Greg Lamb on Sleater.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he compared all of them.
Oh, I think you're right.
But
Yeah.
is there like a chart?
A little
that you
cheat
can-
sheet. I don't think you're going to get it. Well, if you read the article, in the end, he does give you. It's like an Excel-like spreadsheet
Mhm.
that does the comparisons with like the little check boxes, what they include and what they don't.
Who
Right.
is this?
Greg Lamb, Lam.
That's right.
What was his conclusion?
Well, the conclusion is the same pretty much as everything that you talk about. It depends on the
Depends on the
client's
client.
needs.
Right.
How big is the
That's really
client?
true.
How
Yeah.
complicated are they? You know, I
Yeah,
mean,
because I have a client that I'm getting ready to take on, and they use FreshBooks, and they really like it for the branding part, the invoicing part, the ease of use, customer, dealing in, with the customers. I say I need your, balance sheet and your profit and loss. I want to look at your chart of account, and they look at, they're like, what?
You don't have a balance sheet other than the bank account.
Well, apparently,
can
it
get
does
a-
have a balance sheet because I went in there because I have when I first did this in 2012, I did the bean counter thing, and I guess they've changed since then. They do have you can click on it and see a balance sheet and get a profit and loss statement. I
Well,
don't know.
I was talking to their rep on Tuesday, and I said, "Do you have a balance sheet?" And he said, "No." It seems like they would have a balance sheet in the sense that you'd have a bank account and maybe equity.
a bank account and maybe credit card account and equity. That's
Right.
like
Yeah.
Quicken. I
Yeah.
call that not a complete accounting system.
Right. So they
You have
yeah. So I was trying to
income,
get them.
expenses, and accounts.
I think it's basically a cash basis for Schedule C filers. Is my
Right.
understanding.
So I was telling them I would want them to switch over, but they like how they've been
And they're
using
used
FreshBooks
to
for
it.
a year. They're used to it. I personally don't like QuickBooks Online, but that's just me. The only reason I would have them do it because they need. I'm sorry, did I say that out loud?
She had her little rant this morning.
But the thing is, like, I want them to. They need the cloud. So I wouldn't recommend, like, it was either that or Zero
Well,
is like
doesn't-
$30 a month.
Doesn't it sync with Zero and QBO?
QBox is $9 a device a month.
Yeah, these folks are all over the place. I don't think QBox would work for them.
Okay.
But it. So I recommended QBO, but then they were like, "Well, we like da 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 da." I'm like, "Well, yeah, but it's not a true accounting, you know."
Do they
It's
want
not-
to ever borrow money from a bank? If they don't,
Oh, honey, we're gonna have a come to Jesus moment.
Come to Jesus. I love those.
You know.
I love those.
So, but here's the thing. I was reading an article
Well, you know
on.
what? What Linda says is correct. This is something you might want to say to them. Do
Yeah.
you ever plan on asking for a loan? If you do, you need a full balance sheet, and you cannot get that from this program.
Exactly. So that's what I need to let, because they were like, the CEO was like, well, I mean, it's a small, it's like two people. She was like, well, I'm not going to switch just because the accountant needs me to. But I need to let her know that it's not about me. It's about if you want to grow your business and,
You want
get,
to learn,
do all the stuff that you need to do.
financials,
Exactly.
So
You
that-
need to have a proper financial,
that's
not
right.
even just banks. If you ever want to apply for anything, you're going to need to show that you have a viable business, and you need to show your financials. If you can't produce your financials, then you can't do anything.
but why
Absolutely.
can't you let them do FreshBooks, Misha, and
Mhm.
then you take and lump sum over into either QBO or QuickBooks Desktop,
See, that's what I was going to do.
and then you make more money?
That's what I was going to do. I was going to tell them they can stay with FreshBooks, and then I can take and import quarterly into either QuickBooks Online or QuickBooks Desktop, and I'll manage
Xero.
that, and I can then, or Xero, and Xero, yeah. Or then
Yeah.
I can, and then I can manage their financial side that
Yeah.
way. They can continue to manage. I read an article in Sleater in the Sleater blog about it. So, at least that's an option. But I wanted to show them
Got
what, you know what I mean, like a comparison, and compare and compare all of them. And they're, for what I understand, they're not even on the top tier because they're under a certain number of clients. So if they do hit a threshold for the clients they have, they're going to end up paying more anyway. So it's, and then
That's
there's
the time
users and
now to prepare them now before that time hits.
Right.
So
Right.
when they get to make that choice, they'll be able to compare whether they want QuickBooks Online or whether they want to continue with half an accounting system.
exactly.
Sure.
And they said they have to have it in the cloud. They want it in the cloud.
Well, they were saying at the sync up on Tuesday, they had the president of FreshBooks was speaking. He said they had like 10 million users.
Wow.
Joanne, you have people on FreshBooks, don't you?
Nope. I use Wave,
Oh, Wave. Okay.
or GoDaddy Bookkeeping.
GoDaddy.
How is GoDaddy bookkeeping?
I like it. I like GoDaddy Bookkeeping. And it's like $9 or $10. It's like $10 a month. But it does. See, I have a lot of clients that sell online, like that have like eBay stores and stuff, and GoDaddy Bookkeeping does an amazing job, like capturing the person's name that pays them through PayPal and like recognizing that it would be an eBay sale, and also can categorize that every single time and kind of remember like that it was a product sale or whatever. So it just makes things a lot easier. The reports aren't really that robust, but I've learned to work with them. I can pull up for my schedule, sees exactly what I need, and I know I know how to troubleshoot it. So for people that I know aren't going to be able to give me the information that I need, then that's what we go with.
Perfect.
You know, if we need to go with something more robust, and you know, if they end up, for an example, becoming like an S corp, and we need to have like a full financials to watch the basis and stuff, then that's when I switch them over to something that's going to give me a balance sheet, income statement, full general ledger.
Got it.
But you know what? Here's the thing with GoDaddy, and most people don't know it, is it used to be another software called Outright. So if you were ever,
okay.
GoDaddy,
I am familiar with Outright.
Okay, so GoDaddy bought Outright, and that's basically the same. Nothing has really changed on it. They just have it now branded as GoDaddy Bookkeeping. So,
And you know, if they can do it, why can't anyone else zero and into it?
Yeah, except they have to have a separate app to connect it to be able to have PayPal connect correctly. Are you kidding me? Yeah, don't get me going on that. But GoDaddy is a free to try. Like, you can use it forever for free. It's just that if you want to print out reports, you have to pay for it. So I always say, just try it for 30 days or whatever, sync an account, and just look and see how fast it learns and stuff. And then if you like it, when you want to print out the reports, then you pay for it.
Right, right.
It's $10 a month.
Sounds like Intuit Tax Online.
Yeah, $10.79 a month.
It sounds like Intuit Tax Online.
Could be, yeah.
Intuit. What did you call? Intuit what?
Tax Online.
Intuit Tax Online.
Oh, got
Yeah,
it.
it's like you could, if you want to print it out or file, you have to pay.
Yeah.
Right.
Look at Brandon.
I know. We're riding with Brandon.
You're driving with Brandon.
Brandon. We are so cool that we are mobile. This is like the coolest thing. We can be anywhere, even in a car traveling.
We're on the dashboard of Brandon's car.
I love it.
That's
We're gonna get to drive home with him.
In the near future, I'm gonna be on a beach. What? What? Sand and the waves, and you guys are gonna be hating on me.
Hey guys, can y'all hear me now?
We can.
Yeah.
So who's going to Scaling New Heights next year?
I might do it.
Where is it?
It's in the Bahamas.
In the Bahamas, Atlantis.
I'm thinking of going and making it a family vacation.
That's what we're doing. I'm taking my twins and my 17-year-old and my wife, and we're just gonna have a big time.
Nice, nice. I have to get over this year first before I think about next year. But the Bahamas is so enticing.
Well, I took advantage of the 20% off for everybody that was there this year. So.
Right.
How was Scaling New Heights?
It was excellent. I've never had a bad Scaling New Heights. I always come out with something, and this year I came out with actually quite a bit to chew on. So, yeah, I learned a lot.
Do you think that Mr. Woodward is moving more towards expanding his, I don't want, instead of being entirely into it, do you think he'll be expanding to other programs?
No, he's not. You know, him and Sleater used to be, they used to be very close. Now Doug went and has expanded his to encompass all the bookkeeping tax practices. Joe is going to stay with that. I'm 99% sure that he'll stay completely dedicated into it.
Okay, that actually is the reason why I am not considering going. I want the whole expanded experience.
Yeah,
and that's why I'm doing the SleaterCon.
Yeah, for that one, definitely Sleater is the way to go.
I think I want to do SleaterCon this year.
Yeah. I'm signed up. I got the early bird.
Can you shoot me the link?
Is all this weekend. So if anybody wants to sign up, I believe sign up till 11:59 p.m. Sunday night.
Can you shoot me the link, Gina, by email?
Do you have that early bird link?
I think you could go to Scaling New Heights site and get it. I think that's open to everybody.
Scaling New Heights?
I mean, I'm sorry, to Sleater.
Oh, the Sleater website. Yes, yes. I didn't think Joe would be promoting Doug's thing.
I'm thinking Bahamas.
Actually, wasn't Joe part of Sleater for a long time?
He was. Yeah. Actually, Joe created that reference handbook that Sleater sells. Sleater's been updating it and has kept it, but that's an awesome book. That is a totally awesome book. You have to be advanced just to understand it, but you know, the sections in there about the $0 checks and all of that, very, very well worth the price that you pay.
Yeah, absolutely.
No?
That's the consultant's guide, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I get it every year, the new version.
Cool.
I just keep it in PDF, but it's well worth it.
Yep.
Where is it?
So earlier, before our hangout started, we talked a little bit about Finagraph and Kuvinci and report apps that work with QuickBooks. And Dennis, did you want to talk about Finagraph?
Well, Finagraph, what they didn't tell you, at least in our area, they're going to have a special consultants group, I guess, where people that want to get more involved with financial analysis, they'll be forming a group that, I guess, within our group, we call it the talking shop. So it's like one of our the meetup group, the Shelley's group.
Okay.
And it's kind of like it's kind of like a mastermind group, I guess, where you're kind of forced to be accountable. And it's people that want to more focus on the analysis. I was talking to one of the reps about Finagraph versus Kuvinci versus Prophecy versus Coralytics, and I asked her about Coralytics, and she said, well, she'd heard that they were kind of shaky, but I don't know if that's true or not. But I mentioned that part of the problem with offering those services to QuickBooks is a lot of the mom and pops, they can barely read financial statements, let alone see the value in, you know, cash flow and AR analysis and that kind of stuff. So you've got kind of the audience they're catering to, you've got that kind of limitation where you really have to educate the client, depending on if they want, assuming they want to be educated.
And then there's that too, and that's my problem. But I'm liking Kuvinci because, number one, it's free. You can sign any of your clients up for it, and then you get a dashboard that has graphs on it. And you can have your client sign into that dashboard and have a conversation with your client, you know, over what's happening with the dashboard, and not even have to worry about the QuickBooks or going into QuickBooks at the same time.
When do you start paying for it?
You start paying for it when the customer or the company has more than one company, and they want to start combining their reports.
So
They want to see financial for company A, B, and C, as well as just A or just B or just C.
So if you have a client, that you want to hook up with KeyVinci,
email told them not to do it. That I would do it myself.
I'm trying to.
Like if you have a client that you say using Xero or QBO, you can just link that file and not have to pay. I mean,
yes.
Can you print out reports, or is it just kind of like you get to look on
you can print reports. You can print reports. You can send reports. But the dashboard is really, really nice. I was used to dealing with Coralytics, and it's a whole lot more sexy than Coralytics. I'm working on customizing that dashboard at this point. I've got a couple clients hooked up, and they do have a partner program, so as an accountant, you can have as many companies attached as you need. But then once the client decides that they want to, if they have more than one company, if they want to start combining their reports, then you either become the wholesaler for the client or they get their own account and they pay there at that point.
Yeah, most clients just have one company, right?
Well, not necessarily. I've got several that have several companies, particularly since this whole Obama healthcare thing has happened. I know several companies. Well, you can't blame them. They had more than 50 employees and wanted to stay under the limit, so they split up their company, and they have several companies now. But really, they should be looking at the financials on the total, as all of the companies. So this is perfect for them.
Well, as far as reporting goes, are any of you guys looking at Enterprise Advanced Reporting?
I guess the answer is no, Brandon. I've had a few enterprise clients, and they've migrated elsewhere at this point.
Oh, okay.
So, and I'm not going out for that kind of work so much anymore.
From what I saw of it, it seemed to presuppose a strong amount of database knowledge to be linking stuff up on the part of the consultant. I know.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty elaborate. The cool thing about it is, and that's one of the things I focus heavily on during Scaling New Heights. But once you build a report, you can use it across the board if you're focusing on an industry, which we're doing construction right now, and percentage complete, and some of those reports there.
Oh, nice.
Once you get it built, you can use it across the board for anybody. So you can take their pro file, import it into your enterprise, and then build that report for them. Say 4 times a year if you want to do it on a quarterly basis. Charge them $200 or $300 per report, and once you build it once, it works across the board. So
that's awesome. Like a template.
The way I understood it was that they created views from different tables. They did the linking, so you didn't have to link the different tables together. And then I guess you could sync up crystal reports to that view, or also known as a query, that you could run the report off of. That's the way I understood it.
Yes, you can. Any data that's in QuickBooks at all is reportable in advanced reporting. You're not limited to what you get in just Pro or Premier or Enterprise. With advanced reports, anything that's put into QuickBooks is reportable. You can get graphs or tables out of it, and and you can filter it any which way you can imagine. But
nice.
There's a huge learning curve. There's a lot to take in.
Yeah, in another life, when I worked in the corporate world, I was like a data analyst, and I would we had like a SQL database for our corporate database, and I would basically download that into Access, and I'd have other tables I would link, and then I would create queries, and I'd run out reports off the queries, or sometimes link up Crystal Reports to make it pretty, you know, that kind of stuff. But that's more of a corporate type of financial analyst type skill that I don't know that the average pro advisor is going to necessarily have that background.
Is it like the ODB, whatever that was?
Well, ODBC is basically, it's a standard way to connect databases with Microsoft.
To Excel, right.
Yeah, it's
I used to be into that, but I didn't keep up with it, so.
It's like open database connectivity. It's kind of
right,
a protocol.
Right. And that never really took off because that was very complicated to use also.
Well, like I say, it's really more of a senior financial corporate analyst type of skill set that I don't think the average pro advisor is going to have. And if you don't understand databases or relational databases or OLAP cubes and that kind of stuff, then it's really kind of difficult. It's difficult even if you do understand it. And so it's, and I guess the question is how much demand, you know, like Chuck Vigeant has built QCube, which is basically these different cubes that you can write reports off of, but it's so
specialized, right?
Specialized, and again, the people that would be qualified to do it or have the most experience would be people in the corporate world that, unless they were refugees from the corporate world like myself, but on the other hand, what's the demand for that out in the QuickBooks world? It's probably fairly small.
In the QuickBooks world, you would probably be on enterprise solutions, number one.
You'd have to have enterprise clients, yeah, definitely.
Right, it would be enterprise level, and at that level, you start getting people hired specifically as CFOs, and they have their own methods and ways of doing things, which...
Exactly. A company that's that large enough to be an enterprise probably has their own accounting department and maybe a financial analyst. And so I'm not sure what the demand for enterprise, I mean, I suppose at the low end of the enterprise market, people that have sort of graduated up from being too big for QuickBooks Premier, but if it's a sophisticated company, they're probably going to have their own financial staff, which you might be able to train them, but other than that, I don't know that there's really ongoing demand for it. Maybe there is. I've never been really attracted to that market.
I think the market's bigger than what we think. We've got a number of pro clients that really need this type of reporting, but they don't need the enterprise. They don't have the staff to get the kind of reports that they need, and their CPA is not doing it.
Right. A lot of CPAs are just tax people, and they're not really, like I say, this is a financial analyst type of skill set.
Right.
It's more of a corporate world type of skill set rather than a CPA firm skill set.
You have to have a company that's big enough to realize that they need that information.
Yeah, and can act on it and understand it.
Otherwise,
otherwise, they're not going to pay for it. You know.
Right.
And that's really the biggest thing, the biggest takeaway that I got out of Scaling New Heights is they're talking about being the pro advisor, being the not just a bookkeeper, not just a CPA, but being a trusted advisor is what they call it.
Right.
Being somebody that's there to help them grow their business, and telling them not just entering data, but showing them how to get data real time, but also showing them what they need in the way of business reports, and showing them what they need to get to the next level, if that's indeed that's where they're wanting to go. And most people that run a business want to grow their business. They want to make more money, and that's what our job as a pro advisor is to do, is to help them to get to that next level, whether it's reporting, whether it's third-party integration, or whatever it is that they need to try to piece those all those pieces together.
Well, I was reading that Doug Sleater is saying that we're going to become the digital plumbers of the online systems.
It's better than Joe Woodard's scooping the poop.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking, how can you acquire that skill set if you're focusing on desktop, or do you have to be online to be getting the skill sets?
Yeah, that is tough. I mean, you have to be able to use it and understand it before you can promote it, for sure.
Right. And most people are so busy, it's kind of like, thinking of your time and your energy as a scarce resource. I mean, that's a cost too. If you're
Right,
tired,
absolutely.
If you're tired, you're not going to be spending, be up to 1 o'clock in the morning, brushing up on.
Everything and take certification tests.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, when are you gonna, especially if you have kids, it's like.
Okay. Anybody else have any subjects they want to talk about today?
Hey, what's going on with Sarah?
I saw her this morning.
Okay.
She's dealing with her mom.
That's right.
Oh, Sarah. Yeah, and she's also dealing with, she'd like to adopt another dog, but the dog was thrown out of a car and had 2 broken legs and broken pelvis, and now they got to take their dog Penny over to see if she'll leave the other dog alone enough that they can bring the other dog to her house. So.
Wow. A new family member.
Yeah.
Unwelcome family member by some quarters.
So.
Okay.
Bye,
So is this Brandon saying he's got to go? Have a great
looks
time.
like it.
Have an awesome holiday.
See you later, Brandon.
I think he's stuck.
Yeah, I think he's.
Okay.
So.
No, y'all have a good time. I got unstuck. But, I
You
just
have
got
a
home and
wonderful
I've got dogs that make a lot of noise, so
Bye, Brandon. Have a good one.
y'all have a great holiday weekend. See y'all next week.
Thanks, Brandon.
Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
So we were talking. Anybody know anything about the QuickBooks layoffs? You mentioned that, Yvette.
Yeah, I just read about it this morning. I don't know too much about it.
TechCrunch put it out first.
Yeah.
And I saw it there. I mean, they're just saying that they're reorganizing. Every company does that. They're not. They're downplaying it.
Of course, they're going to downplay it.
when I was in the corporate, we call as in pursue opportunities.
Everybody's breaking up today.
Yeah, Dennis, you have to repeat that again because we only heard about 1 or 2 words.
I said, and when I was in the corporate world, we used to call it going POCO, as in pursuing other career opportunities. That would be the standard verbiage when somebody was being jettisoned by the company.
Right. Pursuing other employment opportunities.
$3.99 is an odd number.
Yeah, that is a number.
I guess they wanted to keep it under 400.
Yeah.
So some people got lucky. They skated. Yeah, it is discerning seeing that. And then who else put that there? Charlie, I think, was the other one that referred back to it.
Well, I guess it'd be concerning if it was desktop that was getting laid off,
I don't know. It didn't say which one it was, actually.
Where the people were. So.
Well, that would tell you which.
It wasn't the support group.
Oh, they're all overseas anyway. They don't work here in the United States.
Group is here. The people help from?
Repeat that, Linda.
The people we call in, the tech support people, they're here. They're in Tucson, and they're in Texas.
Some,
yeah. I got people from Florida.
I've gotten a couple of people in Bangalore.
Oh, okay. I only get them on the weekends.
Sometimes you get the Philippines.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it depends on what service level you have. I've been lucky so far that I have the diamond, so I stay in the United States. But I have had people that have called me and they said, I just cannot understand what they're saying. I have a problem. I need to call support, and I just can't get through. And so they hire me just to go to their office and talk on the phone to the support that I get because they can understand them.
Mine do too.
So, yeah.
So I had a problem earlier this week. A client called.
Okay.
They're on ES, and they were all she told me she did was activate the online bill pay at Bank of America, and for whatever reason, the bank feed stopped working.
Stopped working?
It would give her an error.
Oh,
Bank
okay.
feed. And we couldn't figure it out, so I kind of pulled up some information and I deactivated it and I restarted and everything. And come to find out, because they had 2 bank accounts, she had to deactivate the old one she closed in QuickBooks in order for the updated bank fee to come through for the other bank account.
She had to deactivate a bank account?
Yeah.
Which means half her information is in one file?
No, they had two Bank of America accounts. They closed one at the bank, but never deactivated the online feed in their QuickBooks. So we were doing this, and I thought it was already deactivated, but it wasn't.
Sure,
that's what was causing the trouble.
Okay.
But I spent like a lot of time on the phone with her. Yeah. And I remote in, and I'm like, I tried everything, and we couldn't figure it out, and then figured it out.
Did you call Bank of America, or did you call Intuit?
No, we didn't. I told her, I said, we're not calling Intuit. We're gonna do this on our own.
Right.
Ooh.
Well, but see, she should have. I guess we have to ask them, well, how many bank accounts, and they ought to know if you activate 2 bank accounts and then you close a bank account, you need to deactivate it in QuickBooks. I don't think that sounds real hard.
Yeah, but it was just one of those. It was just one of those.
Weird.
Yeah. It just. And I knew it was something simple. I knew it was something simple, but for whatever reason, it didn't even dawn on me to double check that one. Because I'm like, she's like, I closed that one a couple weeks ago.
Picture, so you're not even thinking about it. And it's not the account that's having the problem.
Right.
And the other thing is, if you're looking at their chart of accounts and they're only showing their active accounts, they're hiding all the inactive ones, you wouldn't even see it.
Exactly.
In desktop.
In desktop, yes. QuickBooks and Enterprise Solutions.
Oh, that's right. Online it would be there.
Yeah, 10 user. So it's a lot. It was like I was trying to troubleshoot the account itself, not realizing that all we had to do, because those in Bank of America world, those 2 accounts were sort of linked, and if once she closed the other one, it no longer did. So the bank fee was coming in, and that was causing the error. So at least we got it resolved. So now I know. Okay, double check. That's like on the list of
things to look at.
Right.
Troubleshooting, right. I don't think Bank of America works well with QuickBooks, either version, desktop or online. Anyway, and one of the issues that I have had with Bank of America is all of your Bank of America accounts have to be on the same account. Whether they're business, whether they're personal, or whatever. If you have multiple bank accounts in Bank of America, when you log on, you have all of those accounts connected.
Right there. The credit cards, and checking account, savings account, personal account, business accounts, they're all there.
Right. And you may not want all of those accounts in your QuickBooks.
Correct.
You wouldn't want your personal ones, for example, and sometimes it's hard to disassociate that and get only the business accounts to download.
And the thing is, they have direct connect, so it wasn't like we were doing it manually, and if we were doing it manually, it wouldn't be a big deal, because then we just pull in what we want. But it's direct connect, and she just does it right through, and it was causing major problems. She's like, oh my God. But it wasn't not their primary account, so it didn't cause any issues.
Got it.
Thank heavens, yeah. But that was one for the week. And then I told you guys about my consult with a potential new client, right?
Remind us.
I met with a potential new client, and their accounting system right now is a composite notebook.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't lose that notebook.
I know, but I met with them last week, and I haven't heard from them since. I think I may have scared them.
Aww. But you know what? Hopefully, if they get another advisor, they'll be telling them the same thing.
I know. I'm like, how do you? He's like, yeah, let me just show you. And I was like, and they're halfway through the book. It's June now, and they're halfway through the book.
Wow.
Are they doing it in pencil or pen?
Both.
I'm sure the IRS would love to get a hold of that.
Oh my God, I don't even want to know. But the good thing is that at least they know they have something else to go by other than what they're being given right now. So they have more information. Now it's up to them to use that information properly and figure out, do we want to make this right?
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
It was funny though. I still laugh at it. I chuckle.
I do wish that Intuit would partner with just one bank and get one bank to work really well. I really want to see the payee in the payee field when you're downloading checks.
Please do not get me going. Stop it.
That's what I like about Xero.
Do they put the payee in?
Well, on the credit cards they usually do.
But not the checking account.
Well, I haven't seen that many checks. I can't say for sure. I know that. I don't know if I told you my story about the chamber that decided I'd set up Xero for them, and had just got everything all straightened out, and then they decided they wanted someone else to do their books for them. It didn't tell me I get a call from the treasurer saying that they decided that maybe I was too busy. So anyway, I said, okay, I'll call the new bookkeeper. Well, the new bookkeeper doesn't know Xero, and so I told her.
How are you a bookkeeper and you don't know anything? Oh, well, Xero! Ha ha ha! That's funny.
It gets better because
Dennis, you're breaking up again.
Total income by about $12,000 because they were having this bank fee for at least a year and hadn't gotten it from the guy when the bank it was at. Anyway, so I mentioned that, and then so she goes and writes the board and said that she didn't know Xero and she didn't have the bandwidth to learn it, and that she heard there was a problem that had been going on for about a year, and so she said, I'll have to decline your invitation. So now they don't have anybody doing their books because I'm trying to get the subscription transferred to them, and then I want to unplug myself because I'm just kind of fed up with them, so.
Wow.
But what's, it's just kind of amazing to me that, well, it's a chamber, and my personal bias on chambers is that while you need to have employees in chambers to make them go, if you have an employee-dominated board, it's kind of like a death knell for chambers because they don't really have any stake in it. I mean, they don't have any skin in the game.
Right.
It's like when you go, they don't understand small business people because, like, when I go there, I'm on commission in a sense. I'm not getting paid unless I sort of make a sale. Whereas if you're an employee and you go there, somebody's paying your way to market, hopefully their company's business.
Well, those chambers are what I would call quasi-governmental. They act like one, but they're really not. And if you look at any government agency, they have no clue as far as financial anything.
Yeah.
They have no skin in the game. They just want what they want, and it's usually power play and yeah.
Well, the problem is if I've been in lots of chambers, and this will be my last one. And what I've noticed is there's three types of people. There's non-decision makers, also known as employees. There's people trying to sell you stuff like prepaid legal, and then there's nonprofits looking for donations, volunteers, and contributions.
So there's no incentive for them to have any quality kind of numbers. Nobody cares to even look at the reports. So, yep, absolutely.
So it's like, the problem is that I've come to the conclusion that the type of person I want for a client is not going to be going to the chamber. So I've already spent my money, which is a sunk cost, but so I should waste my time to cost justify my investment.
Right.
I'm thinking, nah.
Right.
I'll just
exactly.
let it go. I'm just wondering if anybody else has said look at chambers.
So we got a Mac conversation going on here.
Oh.
What's happening? Share.
No, it's just whenever I call up, like right now, I'm inside of the Hangout full screen, and I don't see it. Like it totally goes full screen, and I can't see
your bar above.
I can't see my time.
Yeah,
I want the time down at the bottom right where I can always see it. Not that you know what I mean. That's
I don't want it to disappear.
Well,
that's my complaint. On Windows, you go full screen, you still can see the time.
You know, when I go full screen, yeah, you can't see it. But what you can do, I think, is if you have dashboard, you know, the icon that says dashboard.
No, I have no clue what you're talking about.
Okay.
This is a new toy to me. I've only had it for a month or so.
Okay.
What's it look like? Do I just type in dashboard somewhere in the search?
Yeah, you could do it. It's an app. Do you have Launchpad? Get your Launchpad and do dashboard and see if it comes out.
Dwayne's asking who uses Mac.
I do. Almost all my devices are Mac. Love it.
I'm allergic.
Yvette is an Apple person. Joanne is a new Apple person. I think everyone else here is PC. Am I correct?
Yeah, I'm allergic. I got sick back in college, and I couldn't. I realized I broke out in hives and stuff, so I stay far, far, far away.
Well, this is just my home computer, so like my whole office is all Windows, but my Mac I bring with me back and forth. But and the main reason why I got it was for my video editing. So, but I'm starting to like it more and more. I have to say. Don't tell Eric though.
Using a Mac for like 4 years now, 4 years, and I was one of those that would never use a Mac. Don't even talk to me about Apple products because I hated them. And then I think I told you guys all this story. I went into my client's office. They had, I have an office there for me to do their bookkeeping, and I come into my office and I have this Mac. iMac on my desk, and I'm like, what? There's no way. What about QuickBooks? QuickBooks. I mean, how am I going to, I don't even know how to operate Mac, And so they told me, relax, we got VMware, and so they have the parallel side, so I went on the parallel side. But I have Mac, and the only time I use the Windows side, because I have parallels, is for my QuickBook desktop clients that I have, But other than that, they're either hosted or whatever. And everything else I go through my Mac. I love Mac. It's just
I'm like Misha, Mac allergic. I have used the Mac desktop and the VMware to do the Windows, make it look like Windows. I've had so much problems with that, keeping the VMware up to date and working properly. The AirBook, I'm horrible as far as the touchpad, and I hydroplane everywhere off of that. It gets me very frustrated.
Yeah, I love it. I have parallels. I like parallels.
I have a question. Okay, and this is an important question for the Mac people.
Okay.
All right. I was at Artist Point at Yellowstone Park, and I met a man from Georgia who teaches, and his department got him a MacBook Air, all right? Mm-hmm. And he loaded Windows 8 or Windows 8.1 on it. Mm-hmm. And then when they asked him something about whether he wanted to keep using Mac, he said no, because he really wanted to run QuickBooks on the Windows. Right. So he now has QuickBooks 14 on, and he did not load Parallels. So I don't know how he put Windows on it without a Parallels or anything, but he didn't. And he's got QuickBooks on it. And QuickBooks, the Mac has this Retina display HD, and QuickBooks cannot run in that Retina display HD display. And so he was wondering if there was any way to fix the display in QuickBooks on the Mac, or does he have to really?
I don't know how it's possible for him to even run it on a Mac if he's doesn't have VMware or Parallels, unless he's on a hosted environment.
Yeah. I would think he has VMware, because once it's installed and once you're using it, it looks exactly like Windows, and it's not like you toggle back and forth. He may not know that he has VMware.
See, for me,
you mean V, the letter V, or the letter D as in
V, like
VMware.
Victory.
VMware, like that?
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. VM is virtual machine.
Yeah. See, there was a reason for me why I got the Mac, and it wasn't to run Windows.
Okay.
I know, when he said he got the Mac to run Windows, I went, what?
Why? Why? You're asking for problems. If you want to run Windows, get a Windows machine.
Computer. Yeah, and that's what I do at work. If when I want to go on Windows, I can log onto my computer at work and do Windows to my heart's content, and not have to worry about having the resources taken on the Mac. And
got it.
I have a client.
I don't want to pay for Parallels, and I don't want to pay for another version of Windows. It's not going to happen. That's putting another $300-400 onto the price of the Mac computer already.
So I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Windows 10.
The only person that I know that has actually played with that is Nancy. Well, Eric.
Eric has too.
And I think Charlie Russell as well.
Yep.
Because, I got this free thing that popped up on my computer talking about, upgrade for free.
Yeah, no thank you. Not yet.
I don't even know if my tax software will work with that.
What did she say that they took away? They took away Internet Explorer. They have some other program now for the browser.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And what was the other thing that they took away? It was something that media player.
Yeah, isn't it supposed to be more Mac-ish? Windows 10?
I hope not. And I'll miss my media player. I'm on
Windows 7. I hate 8 and 8.1.
I like XP.
0.2, 0.7.
I'm with you, Joanne.
XP was the last.
That really worked well and was easy to use.
Up until 3 months ago, I still had all my computers at work on XP, baby. They were running smooth, and then I got all new computers. So.
Well, if history's any guide, if history's any guide, they alternate between okay software and crappy software. I mean, first there was XP.
Yeah.
Okay. Then there was Vista crappy. Then there was 7's okay.
Oh, Vista.
Then was 8 crappy. So 10 should be okay, right?
There you go, Joanne.
That's my plan.
Funny.
I still miss my start button. I don't care.
I know.
And I don't understand why they don't want you to close programs. Why do they make it that difficult? When did that stop? With apps too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you open a program and you're supposed to leave it on for the rest of your life.
I know. That's the one thing I'm not used to in this Mac is I'm not used to like when my Mac shuts off, when it turns back on, everything remains as it was.
I love it.
It's like I'm in the middle of editing a video and I totally forget and my computer shuts off and I click the button and turn it back on and it just leaves me right where I was.
Very good. Okay.
Surprise, surprise.
It's just a beautiful machine. I love Macs. I got a couple laptops too as well.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I have a client who said the fastest Windows PC he's ever seen is a Mac.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys, what are we doing for this weekend?
Relaxing.
Family and
Yeah.
maybe watch some fireworks and eating. We're going to be celebrating barbecue.
We lost you for a second. You're hanging out with family and barbecuing?
Yes.
Nice.
Probably seeing fireworks.
Nice.
Right.
Misha,
Yeah.
what are we doing for the 4th? You're sitting out front with your little...
That's tonight. Tonight is our town fireworks, so I'll be
marshmallow vodka.
probably be a little hammered in a couple hours.
Linda,
No.
you're recovering from your vacation.
Yeah,
What are you doing?
I'm gonna stay home and do a bunch of work on rebranding my business and that. I've got a number of exercises to do, and I want to kind of create my website and all of my.
Oh, awesome. Let's talk about it. Keep us abreast. I'm doing the same thing. So
So am I, actually.
Well,
Great
anybody
subject.
that wants any breaks, just give me a call. Just remember, I'm in California, and I know you guys are both on the East Coast.
Right, so no calling you at 9 o'clock our time.
In the morning?
Yes.
Actually, that would probably work okay. I'm used to getting up early, being in Wyoming.
You know, it's funny. I just redid my website last year, and I'm going to redo it again.
Wow, this sounds like a great hangout, guys.
I
We gotta
actually
do it.
need, you know what? Do we have a resource for stuff like that?
We'll have to talk about it. We'll have to talk about it. This is
resource-
something that we're going to have to bring up.
A resource for what?
For, like, if you needed some help with content, you know, writing content, like, I'm searching for somebody that's reasonable and that will work with me and my situation.
It's hard when you're, not to say that you're smaller, but I understand what you're talking about.
Oh, honey, I'm tiny. I'm micro. I'm like the Ant-Man. Come on.
Okay, well, how many people here have thought about going with Stacy K?
Who's that?
Stacy Kildall.
Me? I don't know this stuff. I live in Massachusetts, people.
Now you got to get with it.
This is all on the internet. I actually know Seth. You know Seth David, right?
Why are you going to do Stacy's thing, Linda?
I'm sorry?
You're going to be doing Stacy's school.
I am not. I am not. But she also, like, I do a lot of reading. I'm a voracious reader. And so I subscribe to a lot of things, and I delete a lot of stuff. But I actually skim a lot of stuff, and I read stuff that I'm interested in. And she recommended someone for writing content in that. So I could look up that person's name. It was somebody that Stacy Kildall had used.
Yeah.
Well, hold that thought, Linda. We're at the end of our session today. Next week is 17 Hats, so maybe the week after that we'll talk about what do we need to do, who do we need to contact, resources, and that kind of thing.
Sounds good.
Wonderful.
Actually, Gina, I was actually thinking of starting a little program called Small Business Starter Training, and it would be these types of things, learning about, you know, Excel and Word and, you know, website and stuff like that, and kind of coming up with a little tutorial or tips for small businesses as they're starting out, kind of thing.
Absolutely.
So if we could kind of brainstorm about something like that, that would be great.
Sure.
That sounds fine. There are a lot of
we lost Dwayne. He says, happy fireworks on the 4th. Larry as well. Have a great time.
Wayne's got a beautiful lady on his website.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Whoa, Dwayne, what are you
come on, introduce her. Don't let her, we can see her, you know.
Whoa.
Hi there.
Hi.
All righty, have a great weekend.
Well, we're not done. Larry and Joanne and Dennis didn't say what they were doing. Dwayne didn't either.
Oh, I am
well, I know what Dwayne's doing. He's got a pretty girl there.
Daughter.
I'm just sitting home with my little Cosmo this weekend.
Oh, sweet Cosmo.
We're gonna do some cuddling and maybe a little bit of hanging out by the pool.
Oh, that sounds
nice.
I'm gonna try to catch up on Zero training for a little bit.
All right.
So
Dennis,
you're working.
Dennis, you want to take my test for me?
Pardon me?
Fireworks.
Unless
Watch
you
the
want to take my
fireworks.
test for me.
No, thanks.
Larry, what are we doing this weekend?
We're watching the fireworks. Down in Long Island, they have a whole week's worth of fireworks. It's not just one night.
Oh, awesome. So you can watch tonight, tomorrow night, and the next night.
All the towns around here, just every other night, there's something going on.
Nice. So everybody, stay safe for the 4th. Have a wonderful time. Let's see you next week. We'll be talking about 17 hats.
Nice.
Bye.
Awesome.
Bye, everybody.
All of us have to wear a different hat next week. So,
There you go. There you go. All righty.
all righty.
Okay.
Have a great weekend, everyone.
All righty.
Bye-bye. Bye.
How do I shut this thing off? There we go.